Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is a White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So, to recap on tonight's episode, it was pretty epic, let me tell you. Right away, I knew something was going to go down tonight because the immunity challenge started at like 8:10, and usually the immunity challenge starts maybe like give or take between 8:20, 8:30. So I'm like, something's going to happen tonight. I thought maybe something with a rock draw or a tribal, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So tonight they're basically dealing with the consequences of last week's vote out, and Hai and Romeo seem to be going at it, saying like, "Oh, this one's a pot stir. Oh, I can't trust this person. Blah blah blah." I think, and again, it's easy for us to say it because we're not out there actually playing the game. But I feel like when you let your emotions in your gameplay, what I mean by that is obviously it sucks when you're lied to in the game or when somebody in your alliance gets voted off, but you don't want that to be about your whole game because that's fatal in the game Survivor. So right away they went to the immunity challenge, and I'm thinking, oh boy. And it's that pyramid one where basically they have to stand on what looks like this pyramid thing in the water, and if they touch the pyramid, or they obviously if they fall off, they lose. And two people were going to win immunity tonight, and they were split into two teams of 5. So you got, on one side you have Mike, Hai, Omar, Romeo, and Roxroy. The other side you have Marianne, Drea, Jonathan, Tori, and Lindsay. And I don't know if it was like a current or wave, but like they dropped like flies. Like within 2 minutes, like there was like only how many people left. So Hai ended up winning immunity for the one side, and Jonathan ended up winning immunity on the other side. So what I found interesting about tonight is that Mike was all about Mike, and I believe it was Roxroy and Jonathan were all like, hey, we need to band together. We need to form this all guys alliance because, we have the numbers right now, which they're not wrong. They do have the numbers if you look at it compared to the girls. But they're all intimidated by this all girls alliance that's not even happening in the game. And I just find it funny season after season, like people are like, and I mean guys, are so threatened by women in the game. So they're all like, we gotta go guys strong, we have to go guys strong. And here, what's funny about that, what's ironic is that when the tribes are split, there's all guys on this team, so they're gonna have to vote somebody on their alliance off. So Omar then, I think both Omar and Hai were like, well, I think Hai actually said, I don't want to be part of this misogynist group. I'm like, oh yes. Because I'm like, why is it to assume that they're all going to band together? That's just like me saying like, oh, I'm a woman, so I have to align with all these women. I mean, I fucking like all these women, I not trust them, so why do I automatically have to align with them? They could do whatever they want in the game. They can align with whoever they want. So they think like it should be an easy vote, that it should be Romeo because of the outburst he made after the last tribal. But then Omar seems like he's trying to flip it to maybe be Roxroy. And if he can pull that off, he's changed the vote. That would be twice now. So he's playing a pretty good game at this point. So on the other tribe, Jonathan, because he also lasted longest, he ended up winning meat and vegetable kebabs for his tribe. And he wants to get Drea out because she has all these advantages. I mean, we saw last week that she has like immunity idols, extra votes, etc. And he wants to, in case she plays an idol, which before I finish, this is smart to always have a backup option in case somebody plays an idol. But the thing Jonathan didn't think about is his backup option was Marianne. Now, one might think, without actually thinking, like, oh, that's good, it's a backup. I mean, if she plays her idol. But then you have to think for a minute, because then they want to remain tech strong. So then what would happen is if Drea does play an idol, then Marianne ends up going home, and so does her extra vote, and so does her idol. So now they also lose an alliance member, but then they also have the immune to idol and extra vote gone, and Drea still has all those advantages. So yeah, Lindsay was actually the one that pointed that out, and he was just like a deer in headlights, like, oh shit, like, what is he gonna do now? And I don't know if he just didn't want to listen or what, but he kept trying to deflect it onto Lindsay, saying that she's not listening to the game and listening to him, and it's getting annoying. But he's the one that's like, I feel like, trying to be the alpha dog out here. And he's like saying like, oh, us guys in the game, we're voted off first. I'm like, bullshit, they're voted out first. Like, guys have it so rough in the game. Up until last season, guys won for like 8 seasons in a row. Yeah, about 8. Wait, was it 8? Yeah. No, 6. Was it 6 or 7? But yeah, guys have it pretty easy, has it easier in the game than women do. Because as women, we have to watch what we say, watch what we do, watch the moves we make, because we'll even reinterpret it as a bitch, or we'll reinterpret it as, oh, she's so whiny, or she's such a baby, But you get the tribal, and tribal starts early, so I'm like, oh, something's definitely going down. And, first tribal, that kind of went a little bit more smoother. It was a surprise vote, because they all thought the votes were going to go to Romeo, and it ended up going to Roxroy. So Roxroy ended up getting sent home. So next tribal, they're all shocked that Roxroy got sent home, and Drea is pissed because she said, to me anyway, it seemed like she was making it about race, saying that historically in the game of Survivor, not only people of color, but like minorities seem to go out first in Survivor. And she's not wrong in saying that, but I don't think it was about race. Now, I do think Chanel was more liked than Roxroy, but a lot of people wanted Roxroy gone. He was just very cocky and trying to control everything. I mean, we saw, who was it? Omar even said that this episode, that Roxroy thinks, he could control everything. Like, he didn't even, attempt to talk to him. And then now all of a sudden he wants to be in alliance with him. Like, he can't be trusted. Like, he wasn't building the social... He didn't have a really good social game and wasn't building the relationships he needed to move forward. So I don't think the vote out was about race. I think it was coincidental. But with Drea, I mean, I feel like, I think she's well liked. I don't think she has really any enemies out there. The reason why they want her gone is because she has all these advantages. And I think no matter who it is, like whether it was Omar, whether it was Romeo, whether it was Tori, anybody in the game that has 4 or 5 advantages, they would want to get them out. Like, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever. If you have that many advantages, that puts a target on your back. Are they aware of exactly all the advantages that she has? Maybe, maybe not. But I think she had a right to say what she wanted to say. And she is right in the sense that it has been a problem in the past of Survivor. And she said that, she coming into the game feel like she had to watch what she said, what she did, how she reacted in the game. And I don't really think that that's a person of color thing. I think that's more as women in the game of Survivor, like I mentioned before in the video, us as women get interpreted as bitches, or oh, of course she's crying again, oh, I can't stand her, she cries too much. But if a guy cries, oh, look how deep he is, look how sensitive he is, oh, he just blindsided this person, he made such a big move. But if a girl blindsides somebody, I hate her, I cannot stand her. So I think that's more of like a women thing. Like that I've like usually women in the game, you know, that's how we're portrayed, and we always have to watch the moves that we make in the game or how we react because it is harder for us out there in the game Survivor. So, but Jonathan didn't handle it right. He was accusing Drea of being aggressive, and I don't think she was being aggressive at all. Like I said, she had a right to say how she feels, and Marianne chimed in and you know, said how she felt as well and how this changed everything for her. Like that she doesn't want to be someone going home. Like she wants to break the cycle. And Drea said that she was going to play her idol. I felt like she was. I personally felt like Drea was going to play her idol regardless tonight because it was basically either going to be. It seemed like it was either going to be her or Tori tonight, and yeah, it seemed like Jonathan was saying that Drea was accusing him of being racist or like the other players as being racist. And it might be my own, you know, my own ignorance, but it seemed like to me like she was accusing them of being racist because they're like, oh, well, 2 black people are now on the jury. Now this is ridiculous. And now it's like, I think in Jonathan's mind, he was like, well, moving forward, if I vote somebody out, am I going to be interpreted as racist if I vote you out or vote this person out? Or, you know, like, am I going to have to, like, watch who I vote out now because I might be interpreted as a racist? And Drea and Marianne were assuring him that they don't believe that he's racist at all, that they actually like Jonathan. And I feel like it's a lot when you're out there in the game. And it's a whole different world out there in the game of Survivor. And I feel like with everything going on and the emotions, I definitely feel like Jonathan was wrong. Like, he definitely could have handled it right, but he did. I feel like they were both. I feel like Jonathan had a right to say what he wanted to say, but I feel like if anything, you know, he needed reassurance. And I feel like in a way Marianne and Drea needed assurance to know, like, that they're seen as value in the game and, you know, that they're not seen as, like, oh, these people of color players in the game. Like, they're seen as Drea and Marianne. And what I mean by that is, like, they're not gonna, like, just look at them and be known as, like, oh, they're people of color. They're gonna be known as, like, you know, the badass women who make these really great moves in the game. And I feel like both Drea and Marianne are doing very well in the game. You know, Marianne doesn't have as many advantages and stuff as Drea does, but she's doing pretty good considering, you know, that she's been the talk of a lot of tribals to get her out because they think she's a bit much. And that's not being I don't think that's being racist. I think that's more of a personality thing. Personally, I see a lot of myself in Marianne. Like when she said, I think earlier episodes, she mentioned how, you know, she was like alone in school and didn't have any friends. And I'll probably make a separate video talking about this whole tribal because I want to keep it short because I realize how much time we have here, how much time I've spent talking about it. So I'll probably make a separate video talking about the tribal council. But yeah, very intense, and I feel like, you know, very eye-opening. And what made it interesting is that Jonathan obviously won immunity, so he's safe. Drea and Marianne both played their idols, so they're safe. So now it comes down to either Tori or Lindsay. And Lindsay and Tori, well, Tori's been like the target because, you know, she's not trustworthy. And Jeff said we can have this go up in the booth or we could just talk about it right here, which I thought, okay, this is interesting. And Tori said she's going to play her shot in the dark, but Lindsay, it seemed like Lindsay wasn't allowed to play her shot in the dark. Like, I don't know why Lindsay didn't, but Tori, like, they basically all said they're going to vote for Tori, so Tori has to use her shot in the dark. Like, if she doesn't use her shot in the dark, she's going home. But if she plays her shot in the dark and she's safe, then Lindsay goes home. So, she ended up being not safe and ended up being Tori that got sent home. So, yeah, very intense Survivor tonight. Comment down below what you thought. I talked a lot about the tribal council, but I'll probably talk about it more in depth in another video. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor, and until next time, stay regal.